Dear students, good morning to all of you. We can start our today's history class. On the last class, we have discussed about the differences of the region and empire. That topic was completed. Now today we are moving to discuss the last topics of this chapter. You can see the title in the screen: Old and New Religions. Old and New Religions. Here old is mentioned about the ancient period, and new means about the medieval period. Okay, the religions of the ancient and the medieval times. That is we are going to discuss. Okay, and on the case of the ancient, we just only simply say about some general things. Okay, we very detailedly studied about only the medieval religions. Okay. Then you can see that during the ancient period, the people belief of the god or their divinity was based on the supernatural elements. It was in collective form. Okay, it was in collective form. That means each of the tribal group have their own god concept or their own divine concept. The separate tribal groups are there in ancient times. So each and specific tribal group have their own concept of the god and the belief of the system. So the another important aspect of the ancient period was these tribal people, or the ancient period. In ancient period, the people are mainly worship the supernatural elements of the rain, wind, fire, thunderstorm, seas, etc. Such supernatural or the natural elements are the symbol of their god. There is no other deities just like the present or the medieval times. Okay, but during the medieval period there was occurred some changes in religious traditions. But during the medieval period it was happened some changes on the religious tradition of the Indians. Okay, what are the changes? First of all, we can discuss the changes from the Hindu religion. What are the important changes from Hinduism? You can see that the worships of new deities. The people of medieval India, especially from the Hindu religion, they were started to worship the deities. The deities means statues of the different gods. So they were worshipped or prayed in front of the deities. Then the construction of the new temples by loyalty or royalty or kings and rulers, they were constructed the new form of temples, and given growing importance to the Brahmanas because they have learned people in Sanskrit, Vedas and textbooks. Due to their knowledge in the Sanskrit textbook and knowledge, the people were given full respect, and the Brahmanas got the more importance in the society. And also the rulers and kings were patrons towards the Brahmanas. Okay, the Brahmins were patronized by the kings and rulers. The patronage means to give the support or to promote. Okay, so the development of the Bhakti movement also the another important changes of this medieval period. Okay. So these are some important changes which was occurred in the Hindu religion during the medieval period. And also during the medieval period, the new religions also appeared, especially the Islam. The religion of Islam also appeared or emerged in Indian subcontinent, especially through the influence of the travelers, merchants and pilgrims from the Arabian region. From the Arabia, the many travelers, merchants and pilgrims reached in India subcontinent. Through them or through their preachers, the Islam was spread out in India. Okay, they were spread out the teachings of the Holy Quran. Okay, and they were considered Allah is the one and only God, and they were followed the monotheism. Okay, the belief in one God, that is Allah. This was propagated by these Indians, these outside pilgrims as a part of their religious traditions. And later this was what happened, every people of the sections of the society can embrace the religion. No doubt at all, every social category of the people, every social section of the people have the right to embrace, means accept, to follow the Islam religion. There is no restrictions. Okay. Then later, due to the reinterpretation or the misusing of the ideas of the Islamic learning or the Islam, it led to the split of the Islam into two, the mainly two groups. One is Sunni Muslims, and second one is Shia Muslims. The Sunni Muslims are the Muslims, they are considering the four Khalifas authority after the Prophet Muhammad life. After the Prophet Muhammad, the four Khalifas are the main authorities of the Islam. This believers is called the Sunni Muslims. The second as Shia Muslims, they were considered importance to the Imam Ali, fourth Khalifa Imam Ali, as the important personality after the Prophet Muhammad. After the Prophet Muhammad, the next Khalifa or the next leader of Islam should be from by the Ali. He was the son-in-law of the Prophet Muhammad. So this is the two differences of this Sunni and the Shia sect. Okay, that's all about this religious aspects. Then in the another aspect of this chapter is the historians should be thinking about the time and the historical period. Time and periods are very important in history because it brings some changes in the society. When we are analyzing the Indian history, we will get idea each and every 1,000 years has bring total change in different aspects of the economy, society, culture, polity, etc. There was happiness, total change by each and every 1,000 years. So it is very important to study and even the based on the time or date or period. One of the British historian, his name is James Mill. He was divided Indian history into three periods: the Hindu period, Muslim period, and British period. He considered ancient period as the Hindu period, and medieval period as the Muslim period, and the modern period as the British period. Why did he was divided in this way? Because he considered religion as the basis of the ruling system. In ancient period, according to him, in ancient period, most of the Indian territory was ruled by the Hindu rulers. That is why he was called ancient period as Hindu period. But and also he telling that or he pointed out that in the medieval period, most of the rulers was ruled by Muslims. That is why he called medieval period as the Muslim period. And in the modern period, India was ruled by the British colonial control. So they were called British period. He was called as British period. But he focused only the aspect of the religion. He was neglected the other changes of the social, economic, political, etc. So historians of Indian historians are strongly criticizing the views of the James Mill. Okay, anyway, in simply we can say that time and periods are bringing some total changes. For example, in ancient period, we mainly studies about the earliest people, like how they were hunted, how they were gathered food items, how was their lives in the caves and settlement life, etc. Such are the aspects or the theme of their study in the ancient period. But after the some years or the 1,000 years of in the medieval period, what happened? We will learn about the different Western communities, the rise of new kingdoms, dynasties, and empires, etc. Okay, and the regional formation, etc. And then again, after 1,000 years, changes in the medieval period. What happened? Sorry, in the modern period, we will discuss or we will study about the material progress, enlightenment, scientific revolution, colonialism, etc., imperialism, etc. Such new form of historical events we will discuss. So, in short, each and every changes or the occur of the time what will happen? There will happen some changes on the course of time. There should be happen some changes. So the students is very compulsory to know about the time and period when he was going to discuss about an event. Okay, that's all about our this chapter. Now we can stop this class. Thank you for all. Good morning.